I do over 100 deals a month. And
Okay.
so I had this huge problem of storage.
Sure.
And that's when I got in the resale space and I started reselling this product on various different platforms, eBay, whatnot, Facebook, Marketplace. And that started to generate some revenue. So I made 40,000 off of Amazon. I made another like 20,000 off of just reselling. And then I made the rest. I think I did 113,000 top line revenue last year, my first calendar year. And so the other 53-ish thousand was from the brand deals.
So there's 3 income streams that grow out of a single video. Well, hi there, and welcome to Side Hustle Hero, the show dedicated to inspiring you to take action to start or to scale your side hustle income streams. I'm your host, Joan Posivy, author of The Way Success Works. Billy Thorpe is an Amazon influencer who follows a low-ticket, high-frequency business model. In his case, this means the price that he charges to create a short video is low, but he produces a really high volume of them. He's done over 3,100 of them, actually, for over 500 clients. They send him products at their expense, and Billy creates shoppable videos, which he'll then upload and tag on Amazon. These videos are featured on product listings, related pages, as well as his Amazon storefront. In this episode, Billy delves into his 3 lucrative income streams. He walks us through what's involved in applying to become an Amazon influencer, highlighting what Amazon looks for in a strong application, and it's not necessarily a huge following. He shares his innovative strategy for increasing revenue through shared usage rights, where brands can repurpose his content for their own marketing. Plus, he pinpoints what you need to pay particular attention to for success in this business. But before all that, if our chats are sparking your entrepreneurial spirit and providing valuable insights, consider showing your support by visiting sidehustlehero.com/support. That's where you can shoot me over a virtual coffee. It's a real thing and a fun way to give the show a caffeinated thumbs up. Thank you so much. Now here's my conversation with the Amazon influencer, Billy Thorpe. Well, welcome, Billy.
Joan, thanks for having me. I'm a big fan of your show. I love it. Discovered it through reaching out on the platform I reached out on. So I've been enjoying your content. So thanks for having me.
Fabulous. Thank you, Billy. Well, aside from the mastermind group that you run, what are your main income streams?
So the main thing that I do is I work with e-commerce sellers primarily on the Amazon platform to create short form product videos for them or demo videos for their product. And that's by way of the Amazon Influencer Program, which is kind of like an extension of their Amazon Associate, like affiliate marketing program, I guess is what you would call it. So
Okay.
I weaseled my way into it. And now I leverage it to work with brands directly, which we can get into.
Okay. So the Amazon Associates is basically having an affiliate link, whereas this is something different.
Yeah, so Amazon has a ton of programs, and there's really 2 that I'm in. It's the Amazon Associate Program, which is the ability as a content creator, YouTuber, podcaster, blogger to take these particular links that trace back to your account, share them on your platforms, and drive traffic to product listings. If they make a conversion, then you get paid a small commission. And then Amazon introduced the influencer platform, which is a part of that. You got to be in one to be in the other. And it's basically saying, why are we sending people to YouTube to learn about products and maybe click a link? Why don't we create our own platform for content, which this content can be shoppable videos, so pre-recorded live streams or photos, and they typically get placed on the product listing page. So where you shop at, somewhere on there, on the side carousel or down at the bottom of the page, they move it around everywhere. You can watch those videos, make a purchase, and then the influencer, the quote unquote influencer, gets paid. And so that is the program that I really leverage to work with brands directly. So that's kind of the 2 differences. And it's really associate or affiliate is offsite, and then Amazon influencer is on site. So if you hear people say on site, off site, that's what they're probably talking about.
Got it. So that's the space that you play in, and you're revenues there, or how much for the year?
So just off of those videos getting clicked and watched, last year was our first full calendar year, and we did over 40,000 just from that Amazon commission, which
Okay.
was pretty amazing. And then during that time, was learning about, and that's a strategy too in this program. So if you apply, you get into the program, there's a strategy of just create videos about everything in your house, your mom's house, your dad's house, your grandma's house, and you can educate those shoppers and make money that way. So that's one strategy. The strategy that I really go with is I want to work with brands because I want to get compensated for making the video.
Okay.
And so I learned that there's all these brands and companies, particularly in China, more in China that I work with, that are just putting out all these different types of products. And so they'll send me the product, they'll compensate me to make the video. I still retain the ownership rights to the video so I can use it on my YouTube, my Amazon, Instagram, wherever. And then I also get compensated when Amazon, obviously pushes that video and it gets clicked. But then the other component of it that I kind of learned along the way was what I'm going to do with all this stuff, because I've built a system within my business where I have a multicam set up and I can shoot 10 product videos, 20. I think I've done 28 product videos in one day.
Oh,
And so
man.
I do over 100 deals a month.
Okay.
And so I had this huge problem of storage.
Sure.
And that's when I got in the resale space and I started reselling this product on various different platforms, eBay, whatnot, Facebook, Marketplace. And that started to generate some revenue. So I made 40,000 off of Amazon. I made another like 20,000 off of just reselling, and I was liquidating. So I wasn't even charging like a 4 or 5% of retail value. And then I made the rest. I think I did 113,000 top line revenue last year, my first calendar year. And so the other 53-ish thousand was from the brand deals, just those, and I do like a low ticket, high frequency model.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a coffee shop. I'm not trying to sell $1,000 video.
Right.
I'm trying to sell, last year I think I averaged $35 a video or something like that. So it was pretty wild. Now it's increased, and this is where a lot of content creators scratch their head and go, that's not a lot of money.
Well, when you're doing 30 a day, I'm sure that's not every day.
Not every day, but it's definitely can average 10 a day pretty easily.
And you're not paying for this product, correct?
No, I'm not paying for it at all. They're sending it direct to me, and I'm not paying shipping. I'm not paying anything.
So I'm just trying to see your expenses there. Your costs are pretty low then, once you're set up in your studio.
Yeah. So I basically, the only cost of my business is my office space, my insurance for my office space, and it's all inclusive. So yeah, that's it. I think I probably average $1,000 a month in expenses.
Right.
And I have a CRM and some other stuff as well.
Sure.
That's about it.
Sweet.
So yeah, pretty low cost.
And with what you've been doing, I understand that's involved over 3,000 brand deals. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So you've got some experience structuring a deal.
Yeah. And really these deals they're not really complicated.
Okay.
So they're like I said, they're low ticket, they're high frequency. So a lot of my relationships are with marketing agencies that are helping their Amazon clients get content for the page. And it's really fast moving, it's a fast moving process. Now, there are some cases where I'm working on a deal right now for this company. It's a reusable paper towel company. This is a company in the States, and it's a little bit more in depth of a video, but it's also like 10 times the price of that I would normally charge somebody else. And then I kind of base my pricing on a frequency model. So if I weren't getting as many videos, I would be charging way higher prices. But since I'm getting 100 plus opportunities a month, I can keep the price kind of low and just move quick.
100 plus opportunities from this same marketing firm, the idea?
Well, there's a ton of them. There's a bunch of different companies, bunch of different contacts. So I worked with over 500 different contacts to do I think I just posted my 3100th video yesterday.
Really?
So,
Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
What I meant by that, though, if you've got one contact that you're getting 100 deals from, that's way more efficient and you can give them a better price versus having to deal with 100 different contacts. So that's kind of what I meant. Are some of them sending you a lot of product to make it worth your while?
Yeah.
And to be able to offer that price point? Okay.
Yeah, I have probably, a half a dozen that really keep me busy. And then I just add on top of that whatever I can or higher priced deals that might take me a little bit longer.
Okay. We'll get into that. I want to ask you about the deals, but let's backtrack a little bit. Not everyone can be an Amazon influencer, correct? I think you said that there is an approval process. So how easy or difficult is that? What do they look for?
Yeah, so anybody who really tells you like this is exactly how to get in, they're blowing smoke. They don't really know. The thing that I have seen, and I've helped dozen people or so get into the program, and it's called the influencer program for a reason. So Amazon's goal at the end of the day is for you to bring an audience to them. And so they want people who have followers. So I got approved I think it's been 3 years ago because I didn't focus on it the first year, but 3 years ago with 2,500 followers on Instagram, but I had a highly engaged community. So there was a lot of likes, a lot of comments, just a lot of engagement on that platform. And so if I were going to apply for it again, I would take my highest follower count on one of the social media platforms, which I think is like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, maybe Facebook. I think those are the top ones.
Okay.
And then I would take the one with the most followers with the most engagement, and I would apply with that.
Oh, okay. Because they're asking you to choose one as far as the application, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And then once you get into that level, then there's another level to be able to post the type of content that I post. So the first level gets you access to a storefront. So then you can post idea lists, you can post photos, but the real money is made with the listing product content. So, or the product listing with your content on there. And that basically your account will be locked. Then you have to submit 3 product videos that get a manual review. So not only are they going to review those 3 videos, but they're also going to review your storefront and your social media profile.
Okay.
So I have a whole video about this that I share with people of like what I would do, but essentially that's kind of the first couple steps is get in the program, then get those 3 pieces of content approved, and then you're off to the races. And there's like brand guidelines and what to talk about and what not to talk about. I mean, there's all kinds of rules.
Okay.
And it's like any other business or any other game. I tell people all the time, like, why would you step on a field to play a game that you don't know the rules? Like, you're not going to play football or soccer and just walk out there and get annihilated. You're going to understand the game. And it blows my mind, Joan, how many people don't read the rules and then wonder why they can't play the game.
That's right. Why they're not making money at it. Yes. And I can see Amazon wanting to look for engagement because they are not interested in somebody that might have 100,000 followers and you see like 1 like, 2 likes, right? That there's no engagement there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they want to know that you have the personality and the skill set to bring people over and ultimately have them make a conversion. I mean, that's what we all want.
Right.
Because nobody gets paid unless somebody buys something.
Right.
So,
and in order for them to buy it, you got to find the product. So how do you find these brands, these sponsors?
Well, that is some of the behind the curtain stuff that I cover in my mastermind, but it's really not that complicated. I mean, there's Facebook groups that are geared toward Amazon creators and Amazon influencers, and these companies will find you. And what I always recommend is people, once you get approved for that second layer and that second tier of posting content, that you start to post really good content, quality content that is the product is the show. I mean, it's the main person of the show or the main thing of the show. It's very much different than YouTube. YouTube is like, hey, look at me, I'm Billy. Thanks for joining my channel, blah, blah, blah. Like, subscribe, all this stuff. None of that stuff flies on Amazon. It's all about, hey, this is an AirPod case. This is what we're talking about. Here's how it works, all that kind of stuff. And if you create those videos, and I would say create 20, 30, 40 of them and make them really good quality, then you have a portfolio. Then you can go into these Facebook groups. If you can go on Facebook groups and find these companies, you can reach out directly through Google and through their websites if you want to. I've done that before. And then also going live on Amazon. It's not that profitable to go live on Amazon right now, not like it used to be, but you can get the attention of brands. So go live at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and that's like 9 a.m. in China, and you will start getting people to get into your inbox and to start talking about brand deals.
That's a good little tip there too. It's not about your time zone. It's about the time zone of the people where they are that you want to reach.
Yeah, exactly. And just be prepared to stay up late and wake up early for like a month, probably. If you give it a month of going to bed late and waking up early, especially if you're in the States, I should say, then you can get a lot more done and wake up to brand deals and stuff like that. So
right. Huh. And what do you say to these brands? How do you pitch them?
Well, the people who are educated about this space know the value of a video on their product listing. I work with a lot of companies in China, so there is that English speaking portion of it. There is that likeness, like, okay, this is a US guy talking about products sold in the US.
Got it.
So it makes even more sense. So it's a little bit easier of a sales pitch. And then also in China, this type of marketing has been going on for a really long time. Now, live selling, shoppable content, shoppable videos is fairly new in the States. And so a lot of US companies aren't on board yet. They're like, what's the point of this? Like, I can just make my own video. But I'm like, there's a different value proposition when I can, as someone not part of your company, not wearing your logo on my polo shirt, talk about the quality of your product, even if it's just right out of the box, even if it's just an unboxing, first thoughts, that type of stuff.
Yes.
That's going to be a different value proposition than, oh, look at our product. It's so great. So I think that's one of the key things too. And so these brands, they kind of know the value. And so it's really just negotiating a price. A lot of companies want to give you free product in exchange for the video. However you start is how you'll be, because these companies are very well networked. And I started, if I made a mistake, because it's not all just rainbows and unicorns, but I made the mistake of starting off real cheap. So I was doing $10, $15 videos. And then I quickly realized, like, oh, I got 250 videos coming my way. I'm way too cheap. People are saying yes, way too much.
Right.
And so I started just incrementally going up every quarter by $5, $10 a video, and just kind of pushing it to see where I could go. And then I went from averaging $10, $15 a ticket when I first started off to now I'm, $50, $60, $250 videos is like pretty common now in my business, as to where it wasn't. But I did build a ton of trust with those same companies that now pay me the higher ticket.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a little bit of behind the scenes.
Thank you. I find some of the top sellers, in fact, on platforms like Fiverr will start out with that lower price point until they build that portfolio and they get the positive reviews, and then they slowly raise their rates or jump their rates depending on what's coming in. What's the average length of your videos?
Probably about 2 minutes, I would say, is average.
And now I know it's going to take longer for somebody just starting at it versus somebody more seasoned like yourself, but how long would it take you to do that 2-minute video?
About 5 minutes.
Really? From start to finish, edited out the door, really? Wow.
Yeah. Well, and here's the reason why, and I'll do this. So today we're going to take a look at this Cobalt knife, blah, 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 blah. The company sent it to me. They compensated me to make this video. I switch over to this camera. I show it. I talk about it. I show how it functions. I switch back over to this camera. I'm done. I trim the ends of it. I upload it. And I have it all in my CRM, so I can quickly copy and paste the title of the video and everything that I've preloaded in there when I did the deal.
Right. Huh. Well, what do you do when you get a product and it sucks? or it breaks when you're demoing it?
Great. This is perfect. I haven't, surprisingly, out of all the products I get, I don't have this happen very often, which I was honestly shocked. Now, as I've built a reputation, of being a good content creator and being someone who does what they say they're going to do, I get more opportunities to do better products.
Okay.
And so in the early stages, I had this happen way more because it was cheaper products, cheaper companies. And I just had this happen a couple of weeks ago with a beach umbrella type thing. And I took it to the beach and I followed the instructions. I stepped on the little peg to put it in the sand and it broke.
Oh,
And so what I do is I just reach out to the company and say, hey, I was shooting the demo video. The product broke. Now we have two options here, and you can compensate me for my time. You can send me a new product, or I can make the video as is, which helps no one. Doesn't help you. Definitely doesn't help me because no one's going to buy it. So why would I waste the time of doing that?
Yeah.
And so I don't really make those videos. And they usually just say, forget about it. Or, we'll send you a new one or, or whatever. But I just reach back out to the company and try to problem solve because I don't want to put out a video of a product that doesn't work. Like that doesn't make any sense for me.
Yeah. What, not mentioning any brand, what's the worst product that you've got? Is there one that comes to mind?
Oh, I'm trying to think. I mean, one time, okay, so probably a microphone. Like one time I had this microphone that would not work unless you used the cable that came in the box. And I was like, this is pretty annoying.
Okay.
So unless you had their cable, and it was something with the quality, the impedance or whatever of the cable, I have no idea. But it was like, it only worked with that one mic cable.
Right.
Now, I still did the review because the mic sounded good. But I did mention like, hey, this will only work with this one cable. So good luck.
Right. But you pointed it out to them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Have you only ever worked through Amazon, or do you also deal directly with sponsors and then link back to their online store?
Well, that is a good question. So a lot of these videos now, after doing this for a couple of years, some of these companies are now requesting the videos that they can use to, use on their website or use wherever. And so I've been actually going back through my back catalog and selling the rights to those videos, or what I call shared usage rights. I don't even know if that's really a term, but for X amount of more dollars, you can use it. I still get to use it. You still get to use it. And if they want to buy the rights out, then that's several $100s because now I can't make any money off of it or use it. So that is definitely something I'm working on. And then I just discovered a new tool, which I haven't tested it, so I'm not going to say the name of it, but it actually allows me to go live and point people to wherever I want them to go. So if it's to my online store or if it's to another company's online store, and I can go live on my website, their website. And so I think as a content creator or a presenter, there's going to be opportunities for us to work directly with brands and host live shows on their website and talk about their products from anywhere in the world.
Wow.
So it's not, I think that's just kind of one of the avenues you could go.
Yeah.
But right now it's primarily Amazon. I'm doing a little bit of TikTok. TikTok has a creator program over there that I'm in mostly commission based only. So I don't really go over there too much because I like to get paid for my work, not maybe get paid.
Right.
And so, yeah, right now it's primarily Amazon.
Is there a fee payable to be involved in the influencer program? Monthly fee, anything like that?
No monthly fees or anything. Once you're in, you're in. And yeah, I don't know of any, I'm not paid any fees for anything really.
Yeah. Nice. Well, what's the downside of this business that people don't talk about?
This is great. I love this question because I think about it every day. So the portion of my business that is the riskiest is Amazon. They can do whatever they want. It's their business. My agreement with them is I upload the content, then you control the content afterward. And so it could be that Amazon influencer program exists for the next 100 years or for the next 100 hours. And there's nothing that I can do about that. They can put my videos up. They can take my videos down. They can shuffle them around on the page. They can delete them all. They can do whatever they want because it's their platform. And very much like any other platform, like social platform, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I mean, we have no control over that business at all. So if we're getting paid directly and only from the platform, in my opinion, it's a very risky business model.
Right.
And that is why I decided I'm going to work with brands directly, because now what I've done is built a Rolodex of 500 plus, maybe even close to 1,000 contacts. I've not worked with all 1,000, but I definitely have 1,000 contacts in my Rolodex, or my CRM, I should say, that I can now
You're dating yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So if Amazon says, "Hey, Billy, you're out, can't use our program anymore," I can still go to these companies and say, even though I can't post it, I can still create the content and hopefully only lose a portion of my business and not the entire thing. And I think that's, in my opinion, that's like the safest, like less risk approach to these types of, these types of businesses, is
Yes.
like building those relationships that you own. Amazon doesn't want you to know who their sellers are. They don't want, you can't contact them. It's not easy. It's all,
Yes.
through the back door. So you have to, get those things and hold them close to the chest. Because if somebody says you're out, then you can quickly pivot into just being a creator of UGC video that they can use and whatever, instead of being all the way out.
That's been an age-old argument for building your own email list. You can get locked out of your social media account. All sorts of things could happen that are beyond your control, and then you've lost that following.
Yeah, 100%. I think you gotta own that. So,
and when you create the video, you're posting it to your Amazon storefront, and so then too, you're at the mercy of the Amazon algorithm, and you're posting it to your social media. So you're tapping into your audience. Like you said, that's the whole intent from Amazon wanting to get you involved in the first place.
mm-hmm.
Yep. Your storefront is at Amazon.com, but other people around the world, they're just going to tap into their local one. Is that correct? Canada.ca.co.uk, that kind of thing?
I know like Canada and the UK have their own influencer programs, and I'm a part of them. I just haven't done them yet, but they have their own like entities. Like you can't, be, I mean, I don't know all, because I live obviously in the States, so it was
Right.
easy for me to get involved. But I
Yes.
think our content creator friends in Canada and over in the UK have been waiting for a long time for Amazon to roll this out. I think they've rolled out in Australia and then maybe a couple other countries.
Got it.
And so, yeah, I mean, in every country too, and it's probably just different, legal stuff that goes on, because like I have to, by an FTC regulation, disclose my relationship with the brand. So if you go watch my video, every single one of them says XYZ sent me this product and compensated me to make this video. So
Yes.
up front, I'm just disclosing, hey, I'm in a relationship with them. This is a paid gig. And this is, if I'm sharing my honest thoughts or whatever, it's still like, this is a paid deal. So I think different companies, different countries, I mean, they're kind of rolling it out, and you got to apply for those programs separately. Now, as far as I know, you can maybe, I don't know if you can apply for one outside the US, but I applied for the Canada one and I applied for the UK one, and I got in both. I just haven't done anything with them.
Okay.
And also, these companies don't sell in all those countries either. So you might have one product that only sells in the US or one product that only sells in the UK.
Okay.
And then these companies also want people from those countries to share the product,
Right.
from what I understand.
Okay.
So
they want somebody
it's
local.
a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah. So I guess there's a point where you develop a policy, I guess if you call it, to be true to yourself and your viewers of how you demo a product. So for example, it sounds like you're willing to point out when things aren't perfect, like that microphone, because you want to be honest, but at the same time, your money is coming from these companies. So that's a bit of a balancing act, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I struggled with this in the early stages of this business, because I was like, I'm not really reviewing the product, because, and a lot of people call these review videos. In my opinion, I can review this microphone because I've owned it for 4 years or 5 years or whatever. I can't really review these towels because I haven't really used them that much. I'm probably not going to use these and wash them and go through a whole life cycle of these paper towels. But what I can do is I can unbox them. I can give first thoughts about them. I can, first impression videos, what comes in the box, how does it work, what's it made out of, and these are a quick look at this product. And so I kind of gear all my videos up in that format
Got
of
it.
what comes in the box, was it, what's the quality of it just right in my hand, and then, how does it work? Like I can explain a lot of stuff of how it works, but I can't really be like, oh, I love this product. Now, some stuff I do say that, like, man, I really love this. I've used it and I've, tested it for a while or whatever, a few days. But most stuff I'm not trying to sell it. Most
Right.
stuff I'm just trying to say, here's what it is. Here's what comes in the box. There you go. Because if you get on Amazon right now and you see this AirPod case, it might be a 3D rendered image with lightning bolts coming out of it.
Yes. Yes.
It's like something crazy to show that you can charge it, and you're like, what, why is this, coming out of the bottom of that?
Right.
And it's my job to let you know as the buyer, like what comes in this box and does it fit the AirPods? Like I answer that question a lot. Does this case fit on the phone? Yes. Does this fit in the AirPods? Yes. It's like, does it come with a charge cable? All those things that are not in the listing. And it's really interesting too, to not, just read the listing because it's really simple because all that stuff is there, but to actually use the product a little. I don't use every product, but I do use it enough to understand how it works and explain it.
Yeah.
But it is a fine line, especially because you want people to buy, but I can't sleep at night if I'm like, everything is great and everything is amazing and I love everything,
Yes.
everything
Yeah.
changed my life. Like this is not realistic.
And I know if that were me, if I started getting products, it's like, you know what, this, I'm just not going to represent this company anymore. Their stuff's crap, or you want to remain in integrity.
There is some companies that just structure deals a little bit differently. So I work with a clothing company where I charge them a fee, a small fee to just pull the product right out of the bag, show the stitching, show the extra button that it comes with, talk about the front pockets, and it takes me 35 seconds to do each video, and they'll pay me a fee to do that. And so there's still different structures, within that. And a friend of mine works with the same company. Now he gets paid 3 times what I get paid, but he's making a fully produced, steams it, irons it, puts it on, styles it with his jeans.
Got it.
And makes that kind of video. So a lot of different ways to structure the deals for sure.
Right. That's interesting because the video makers are going to have different strengths, different personalities that they can play to. Someone might be just let's show this out of the box. This is how it works. Whereas someone is more the, hey, I can style this for you and I'm going to make it look really good. And I'm glad you pointed out the difference between a video that's not, it's just demonstrating what the product is. It's not necessarily endorsing it. And I think that's a key, both for someone getting into the business, but also as the consumer when we're viewing these videos. And I was looking for a stand-up paddleboard pump recently, and I really relied on those demo videos because now I can see it at work, and they were quite honest. It's like, hey, this is kind of loud. It's efficient, but it's loud and it's annoying for people around you. So I really appreciated that.
It is a really interesting shopping mechanism and it's nice and convenient. It's right there on the page. You can watch the video, get some opinions about it, and you don't have to go search all over the internet. So I think it's a good play for some of these, big marketplaces to implement video for sure.
Yeah. So many people, when they're starting a side hustle, get influenced by these videos that you see on TikTok. It's like, oh, just try this, do these videos, and you're going to be on your sailboat in a month. How long does it take for somebody to gain traction? Or I know, again, it's going to depend on the person, but how long should they at least give themselves to know if it's really working for them or not?
Yeah, I'm a victim of those videos in my early entrepreneur mind and journey of like, oh, this is going to be so easy. Here's the easy button. But I've learned that everything's a process. And I even look at my business structure now, and it is created from years of learning, not only working for myself, but working for other people. And, all the tech stuff. I worked at a nonprofit for like 7 years doing all of this type of stuff.
Okay.
Before I ever stepped out as an entrepreneur. And so I think it's recognizing your skill sets and how to utilize them and creating a system. I think when I started to do this business, I quickly realized the opportunity, but I knew it would get away from me unless I built some kind of a system. And so the time frame just depends. You know, everybody's life is different. How many hours do you have to spend on this? How much do you want it? I mean, in full transparency, I made 100,000 my first calendar year, but I could argue it took me 20 years to learn the skill sets to do that. So,
Good
I don't
point.
want to tell somebody it's going to take them 20 years, but it took me 20. I'm 37, and it took me a long time to
Yeah.
figure it out
Yes.
of all these skills. I started video when I was, 18, and now I'm like, oh, okay. So arguably it's taken me a very long time to create a business that does that amount in the first year.
That's a really good point, Billy. You've got such a skill set stacked up over all those years. It's like when someone pays me a lot of money to do a keynote that might be 20 minutes. You're not just paying me for the 20 minutes. You're paying me for the 3 decades of business experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Can you give us just a couple of tips on your best tips on what it would take for a person to be successful at this? What should they pay attention to?
I think they should pay attention to their workflow, especially if you want to work. And there's different levels in the market, and there's different levels of sellers that you can work with. And I have this kind of debate with YouTubers all the time. They're like, man, you should be charging 1,000 or 2,000 for that video. And I'm like, well, I could, but then I would have to spend the amount of time it would take to go find a company to pay me $2,000. And then I would have to take the time to spend to make a $2,000 video. Or I can spend, minutes making videos, make a lot of them, and just know that there is this consistent revenue stream that's coming in, because I'm looking for consistency. I don't necessarily need to get paid top dollar. I mean, look at companies, all over the world that are selling cups of coffee for dollars, but they're making millions. And it's like,
Yes.
I can, figure out that system. And so that's one thing I would probably say is like, find your workflow that really works for you, that you can produce quality content quickly and really go out there and do, if you want to do the frequency model, or figure out a sales program where you can go sell a $5,000 video and then figure out how to make a $5,000 video, which I'm just not. In my case, I don't really enjoy those long projects. I'm really quick hit ADHD, like, let's hit it and move on and do something different.
And again, that's a good point, because you can move into this business in a format that suits you. If you've got that really strong filming or video background, you might want to do the $5,000 video because you've got the tool and the expertise, or go for the high frequency model.
Yeah, low ticket, high frequency is what I do. Yeah.
And I think that's so key is, okay, so the way Billy does it is this way, which might be perfect for him, but because I don't have the skill set he does, maybe I'm stronger in a different area, I should do it this way. Yeah, I like that. Well, what's the best place for our listeners to connect with you, Billy?
Yeah, they can just go to my website. It's just billythorpe.live. So first name, last name .live, and that's where they can find all my info.
Excellent. And I'll be sure to include that in the show notes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
So what's your best tip, Billy, to inspire others to start or grow their side hustle dream?
You never know if you don't ask. It's like the answer. I can't remember who said this. Not Nora Jones, Nora Roberts maybe said, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. And I think if you don't try, the answer is always no. It's like you never know until you get up and take some action. And so I've done that with every business. I've owned several different companies and tried several different products, and I have a lot of up and down stories of my entrepreneur journey. And one thing that I always try to do is, one, listen to the people around me to figure out what problem are they asking me to help them solve. And if enough people are asking me to help them solve a problem, then I might just be the person that could create some revenue and opportunities out of that. And so through my whole journey of entrepreneurship, I do those two things. I listen, and then I ask people to pay me to help them. And so it's like, if you don't ask, though, the answer is always no. So if you don't try to get it and try to go out there and just start, then you don't know the possibilities. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of opportunities, and they're probably sitting right under your nose, honestly.
And what you described there sounds like a real win-win to me.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Well, thank you so much, Billy, for your insights and tips and ideas on how to be successful on the Amazon Influencer Program. And of course, for being today's Side Hustle Hero.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
In addition to the homepage that Billy mentioned, I've also dropped a link to his Amazon page in the show notes so that you can check out his product videos. When I asked Billy about the downside of his business, he pointed out the risk of relying solely on Amazon for income. I completely agree. It's risky to depend on one platform for all your earnings. That's why I'm a big advocate for having multiple sources of income. MSIs. When you diversify your income streams, you spread out the risk. If one source dries up, it might piss you off, but it's not catastrophic. This concept reminds me of the fall of the once mighty Enron back in 2001. The company's collapse left thousands of employees jobless and wiped out their savings. Many of them had their entire financial well-being tied up in a single company that they couldn't control. Their sole income was gone, their retirement funds evaporated, and the value of their home plummeted. The same principle applies to investments. Unless you've got a seat on the board, you never really know for sure what's happening within a company. That's why I diversify my investments, just like I diversify my income. So whether it's your income or your investments, relying on one source is really dangerous. Diversify to build a safer, more secure financial future. If you're thinking about starting a side hustle to create additional income streams, you're on the right track. And as your capacity to save and invest grows, continue to diversify so that you can weather any market fluctuations. Multiple streams of income, it's a wise path to feeling secure about your finances. Well, that's a wrap for today. You'll find links to Billy's website, his Amazon page, and the full show notes at our website, sidehustlehero.com. If you're enjoying what you're seeing in this podcast, it would be so appreciated if you would take a moment to add your comment, share the episode, and please subscribe. It'll let others know that there's valuable content here to help them start or grow their side hustle. Thanks for watching, and hustle on.